Hi everyone, welcome to Decoding Adyogi platform, Adyogi's monthly product webinar. You are all welcome to Adyogi's Valentine special Decoding Adyogi platform on 8th February. I hope all of you are planning to have a Valentine's Day sales plan on your D2C website. If yes, then this webinar is just the thing you need. And I hope you've had a sizable lunch too, because this webinar will be packed with actionable insights. So be ready and do take notes because we are going to discuss a lot of things specifically on product profitability, how to identify the right products to promote in your catalog linked ads, and how to identify the products that are profitable for you so that you can achieve maximum results. So all of these will be linked to the Adyogi platform and how to do all of this using the dashboard that we have created on the Adyogi platform, different sections that we have on the platform, such as product analytics, catalog mapping, etc. And you should be able to implement the same if you are an Adyogi user. If you're not an Adyogi user, then do get in touch with us if you're interested to avail our services and get access to the platform. For those who have just joined, I would like you to introduce yourself in the chat box, or in case you have any questions that you want us to answer at the end of the webinar, then please do put it in the Q&A section or in the chat box. How are you associated with Adyogi? You might be seeing a poll on your screens right now. If you're an Adyogi user, do give it a checkbox. Mark it yes. If you're not an Adyogi user but you're looking to collaborate, then mark it as yes. Or you're just exploring performance marketing for your brand or upskilling as a digital marketer, then choose the third option. So do attend this poll as it will help us get some understanding of the audience that we'll be catering to in this session. So this webinar will be conducted for at least 40 to 45 minutes. Like I said, keep your notepads ready because this session will be packed with insights, and we'll be focusing on product profitability and how to scale up during the Valentine's Day week that is going on right now. All right. So now that you've answered the poll, again, for those who have just joined, I would just like to give you a brief of what we discussed in the previous two webinars. So as many of you all know, that we conduct this webinar on a monthly basis to give you a walkthrough of the Adyogi platform and to help you understand how to use different features of the Adyogi platform to scale your D2C brand profitably. So, again, just to set some context for today's session, we have decoded something called product performance management, which is a concept that we have been able to crack after working with 350 plus brands in the last 8 plus years. And when we observed and did our user research, we saw that the biggest challenge that e-commerce brands face is to identify the products that work for them and how to promote them in their catalog linked ads. This one big gap could save them so many of ad budgets from getting wasted on unprofitable products and also boost their revenue by focusing on the right products or the high converting products, or as we call them, their hero products. So in the previous two webinars, we explored the meaning and use cases of PPM, that is product performance management. But in this webinar, we have full-fledged two success stories where you will be seeing the impact that PPM or product performance management has created on our clients, that is Bombay Shirt Company and Rare Rabbit. So get set and keep your notepads ready as again, like I said, for the third time, I'll be saying that this session will be packed with insights and you must implement these. And in case you have any doubts, please put it in the Q&A section and the chat box. We'll try to cater as many questions as possible. And start the session. Let's start today's session. So before we proceed further, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Muskan, a product marketer at Adyogi, and it's my pleasure to be your host and speaker for the day. We have Pranav, team lead at the Adyogi product team. And without any further ado, we have agenda for today's session, that is product analytics section, which is a new and improved and an advanced version of the product analytics section on the Adyogi platform. So we'll be giving a step-by-step walkthrough of this section and how you can use the same to analyze your product performance. Then how to identify hidden gems and hero products out inside your entire catalog, and third, how to enrich your feed with a feature called product mapping that is on the Adyogi platform again. Fourth, we have a success story, like I said, from Bombay Shirt Company, an Indian apparel brand that has been able to scale up majorly due to the PPM features and PPM strategies that we implemented. And lastly, you can avail a free product performance audit by Adyogi if you stay till the end. So, Pranav, over to you.
Thank you, Muskan. Thank you for the introduction. And welcome all to the 8th edition of the Adyogi Decode e-commerce. As Muskan has rightly said it, we have multiple things on the platform that we wanted to pick up, and we are more excited to share all of these, findings and these features with you. And without, wasting much time, let's just jump right into understanding how PPM can help to you to scale your brand effectively. Now, the first thing that we wanted to pick up was the new and improved product analytics, or the advanced analytics section of the catalog that we have on the platform. Let me just take you to the platform and we'll see that how do we understand and read this advanced analytics so that you can also enable that deep analysis at a catalog level. So jumping right into the platform. On the platform itself, you can see the product analytics section where if you click on this, you have the categories and the product level data. Now, the moment you click on the category level data, just minimize this. Yeah, the moment you click on the category level data, you have the analytics pages ready where you see the new touch and feel of the product analytics. On the right, on the left-hand side, you see the default view, funnel view, performance view, orders view. Let me just simplify that. The default view is a basic view which contains the top of the line or the crisp matrices for you to understand that how your categories are performing. Then you have the funnel view, which details that how is your product level or your category level performance at a GA level or the Google Analytics level. Then the performance view tells you that what is the catalog level performance for your categories. The orders view is a custom view which contains your multiple matrices like your spends, your product page views, your website revenue, and then your overall CRR. And then you have a custom view, which is a accumulation of all the other views combined. So that in case if you want to see data at an overall level for all the views combined, you can switch to the custom view and then, accordingly see your data. Now, the moment you land on this page, you see the category level, and then you see all the categories currently listed. On top of it, you have the matrices where each matrix defines the source that we are pulling this data from. A filter section to filter your categories. Then you have an advanced search filter section where if you click on it, you have the option to add your matrices. So you can add multiple matrices from multiple data sources. So you have your GA data, your website data, metadata, and your Google data. And you can add multiple sections with multiple group conditions. So you can have, so let's say you can say that I want to do, filter my categories on top of my views from GA, or let's say my, let's say spends, total catalog spends from Google and Meta combined. And then, you can have multiple sections. And again, then you have an attribute section that on what basis you want to filter your data on, or what sections you want to see your data on. So you can add multiple dimensions in this section where you can say that if you want to only specifically pick up certain SKUs, or you want to pick up only product names, specific categories, collection, brand, gender, color, on what basis you want to, filter your data on, or let's say aggregate your data on. Now, apart from that, you have the calendar icon where you can see your data for n specific number of ranges. And then you have the last option, which is again a very important section, where let's say in case if you want to specifically select certain matrices to view your data on, then you can click on this metric icon, which essentially lists down all the matrices that we are pulling from all of your data sources. So let's say in case if I also want to include my blended ROAS metric, I can click on this blended ROAS and I can have this metric. Now, let's say in case if I want to pick up add to cart, I can click on this add to cart metric and automatically, let's say that metric gets added to my view. So now I can view my data as per the custom matrix I want to view it on. So I have my add to cart, purchase value, then my catalog level data, and then again my store level data and my blended ROAS metric. So now with this in mind, or in case, let's say if you need a further analysis as to how do I navigate the page and how do I see my data, you also have something as a product tour where if you click on it, we'll give you the entire tour of the page. And then how do you see certain sections of the analytics section. Now, I just wanted to highlight two major things that you can do on the page. Now, the first thing is that when you see your data on this specific level, now in case if you want to switch from the category level to, let's say, the product level, you can click on this icon, which will say that where do you want to, group or let's say aggregately see your data on. So currently I'm seeing at a category level. The moment I switch it to product name or the product level data, my data will start appearing in this section where I have my data on the product level. So I can see all of my data at a product level along with the respective matrices. Now, in case if I want to do a comparison where I also want to pick up a product level data, or let's say against a category level data, or the vice versa, that is the category level data against a product level name as well. And I want to add a second dimension to my attribute. So what I can do is I can go back to this section and I can click on the plus icon where I have now the option to add a product name as well. So against each category, I'll have the list of products against that category, and then I can filter my data and then use my matrices appropriately analyze my data on. So the moment I click on this product name, it will automatically open a view where I have the categories and then I have the product name as well. So against each category, I have a product and then I have the relevant matrices against that. So now this gives you the ability to have a deep analysis of your catalog or your products specifically, so as to identify your potential pipelines, or let's say your hero products, which will again move into the next section as to how do you identify these pipelines. But just by analyzing your data at a granular level, it gives you a better understanding of your catalog, a better control of your catalog, and how do you want to read your catalog effectively, and let's say then create those pipelines. Now, apart from those, just as a good to have feature, we also have the sync rates as well, so as to when we did last sync your data with, so that you know that the data that you're seeing on the platform is currently updated and up to date. So there is no data redundancy or data latency that you may be seeing old data. So you also have the icon visibility as to when your data was last synced at with the Adyogi dashboard. So with that in mind, this option should give you a better understanding of your catalog and better understanding of your product and how are they moving across the e-commerce journey. Now, that's the first section that we wanted to pick up in terms of understanding how the advanced analysis of your catalog works. The second section that we wanted to pick up was to understand that how do I identify these pipelines from my catalog? So let's say in this case, if I have a deep understanding and I know that my catalog and my product data is all available to me, there are custom matrices and custom views available. Now, how do I identify and understand that what are my hero products or what are my hero categories and what are my potential products? So essentially, we'll pick up two pipelines in this case. We'll first try to identify uh, products or low discoverability products from my hero category. So categories that are performing really well for me, but products within those categories that are not getting visibility due to, let's say, my other top hero products are taking all the views and all the spends. So how do I identify my products within my hero categories that are not getting respectable views? And the second part of this pipeline would be to understand that in case if I have a dead inventory, or let's say inventory which is not getting a lot of views in terms of the category, and how do I start identifying my profitable chunks from those hidden gems, so let's say those hidden categories, or let's say those less visible categories, and then start offloading my inventory from those specific categories. Because I do not want to keep a large chunk of my products or large chunk of my categories, let's say hidden or non-visible to the end consumer. So let's start with identifying that how do I pick up my first category, which is my non-visible products or low discoverability products from my hero category. So for that, we can land on the category page, and then let's switch to the funnel view, which is your GA4, where we source data from your Google Analytics data. Now within that, I have a list of categories. Let me just switch it to last 30 days. And I can see that I have my category, which is the necklace category, where I'm getting an overall conversion rate of 0.43%. And let's say with an overall page views of roughly close to 7 lakhs page views. So, or let's say in this case, if I pick up all of these categories, so I have my necklace category, or and I can also have my below 1900 category where I have, let's say, roughly 2,70,000 views. And my overall conversion rate is 1%, which is, let's say, more than my overall average conversion rate of 0.6%. So again, this again could be my hero category where products are performing better, but I need to identify products where discoverability is very low. Now, how do I identify products where discoverability is very low? What I can do is I can swiftly change this to my product name. I can go from category to product name, and then I can go to the filter section. So let me just click on the filter section. Now within the filter section, I can click on the attribute and I can say that only, filter my products for those category which contains, let's say, below 1900. So automatically all of my data will be now filtered on this specific category, which are below 1900, which our products which are part of my below 1900 category. Let me just click on apply. And the moment I do that, it will automatically segregate my data from all of my catalog data to only just this specific category. Now I have a list of products. So let's say in this case, if I have, let's say, yeah. So I have a list of products from this specific category. Now within this category, if like, just reduce this. Yeah. So now within this category, if I now want to segregate products which are, let's say, again, this is again my hero category. Now I want to identify hero products from this category, but since these products do not have a very high discoverability, they may not get that amount of views or let's say those specific amount of conversions. So what I can do is I can switch to my, let's say within my performance view, which is again my catalog view, where I have data from my catalog ads. And within this, let me just add two matrices to compare, to do a comparison. I can go to this specific section and then I can say, put my product page views and let's say my conversion rate and my blended ROAS. Now, blended ROAS is a concept that we have derived at Adyogi, which essentially means your catalog spends compared to your overall website revenue. So at a product level, if a product pay, you have attributed certain catalog spends compared to what is the overall website revenue that product is bringing to your brand. So that's the definition for blended ROAS. Now, when I've added these three matrices, I have my product page views, my conversion rate, and my blended ROAS metric. Now, if I see overall, I have roughly 270,000 page views at a conversion rate of 1% aggregate with a 6%, roughly 6% blended ROAS. Now, what I can do is I need to now identify products that are below, or let's say that are low discoverable products within the specific category, that is below 1900 category. I can again switch to the filter view. And then within the matrices, I can say that, put me views where my views is, let's say, less than, in this case, it could be, let's say, 1,000 views. So let's say anything which is less than 1,000 and my conversion rate. So since we know that the overall conversion rate is 1% for this category, it is greater than my average conversion rate. And let's say in case if I also want to focus on the profitability of a product, which let's say in case the product may be a fast converting product, but I also want to identify that this has to be a profitable product for me as well. So what I can say is I can say that, the blended ROAS is again greater than my account average, which is let's say 6x. So we have taken up the very basic benchmark matrices, or let's say the average benchmark matrices for this specific category. And now let's say the moment we click on this filter products, automatically it will rejig your entire category to identify products that fall below the specific criteria or that fall under the specific criteria. So the moment I have this, I have a list of products where these products have an overall, let's say, views of 55,000 views. But if you look at the overall stats, my overall conversion rate was 1% for the overall category. But with the filtering done, the overall conversion rate has gone up to, let's say, 2.6%. And my profitability has jumped from 6x to 17, or let's say roughly 18x. That is 3x, 3 times the revenue, the profitability as compared to my overall category. Now, with this pipeline ready, I know that these products do not have a good visibility within my hero category. But since these products are driving a significant chunk of profitability and conversions for me, I can then start creating, let's say, start storing these ads and these products, and then I can start promoting these products in a lot of my smart ads. So we have a list of these product IDs, and then what we can do is we can start promoting them in our smart ads using the same logic that we have. So this is the first way of identifying products where those products that are part of the hero categories have less discoverability. Now, the second aspect of understanding the deep analysis is to identify categories that have got a very low number of views or low discoverability, categories that are not being promoted that actively, but you still want to offload inventory by finding out potential profitable products from those low discoverable categories. Now, how do you identify those? You can again switch back to your category section, just switch to category, and then identify categories that are not getting the required number of, let's say, views in terms of that. So let's say if I have roughly close to 34 lakh product pages in the last 30 days, I can, let's say, identify two categories. Let's say this is antique bangles and bridal for Sangeet. Now, these two categories have roughly 50,000 page views, but the overall conversion rate is, let's say, close to my average conversion rate overall. That's 0.6%. Now, what I can do is I can then start identifying profitable chunks from this specific categories and then, start promoting these profitable products, because I do not want to go at the bottom range where products are not performing for me, but still want to tap those profitable products that are, yes, giving me considerable revenue and considerable profitability. So again, jumping back to the filter section, what I can do is I can go to I can just remove, let's say, these sections. Let me just remove this. And let me go back to my attribute. And I can say, put me, give me the categories where, let's say, this is my bangles. This is antique bangles and yeah. So these are my two categories where the discoverability was very low. So let me just filter this. Now I have a list of products from these two low discoverable categories when I know that my overall conversion rate is 0.6%. Anyways, this is low discoverability. You have a less chance of a good conversion. And my overall blended ROAS is somewhere close to 9.8 or let's say 10x. Now, I need to identify products that are profitable from this specific section and then start promoting these profitable products from this category so that these products start moving towards my hidden, let's say my potential or high potential product category. So what I can do is I can again go back to the filter section, and within this I can add a metric which says that my views have to be greater than let's say 1,000, and at the same time my conversion rate can be greater than let's say my account average. So let's say in this case, if I was having an overall conversion rate, let me it can be more than 6, and let's say then click on apply. Yeah. So now, since I know that this is the list of products where roughly, if I look at the number of views, it is roughly half. So that's just the 50% of the number of views that I was getting. Now, with a conversion rate of 0.6% and a blended ROAS of 7, what I can now do is I can now start identifying profitable chunks. So what I can do is I can say that conversion rate can be, let's say, greater than my account average of 0, or let's say my category average of 0.6. And at the same time, my blended ROAS can now be, let's say, greater than my average of, let's say, 7. So I can say, let's say, 7. And let's say hit on apply. Now, automatically, if I compare now, that's 1/4 the number of page views compared to the categories that I was listing. So I had a total of 1 lakh page views, but now I only have close to 25,000. That's 1/4 the page views, roughly giving me 1% conversion rate compared to 0.6% with a blended ROAS of 11x compared to the blended ROAS of 6x that I was getting. So that's the power of deeply analyzing your catalog or your products. And now when you have this list ready, you can start identifying these SKUs and these products and then start creating these products via smart ads. So that's again a very simple section. You can go to your smart ads section on the create button, click on a specific category. Now within that, you can identify a specific category. Let's say in this case, this could be below 1900. And let's say jewelry below 1900, sterling silver jewelry. And then click on the Adyogi filter and then go to the price range section where now you can identify your conversion rate and your views, and accordingly your data will then start getting sorted on top of it. So that's the point of identifying and deeply analyzing that how your catalog is moving along the lines, how is it moving along the e-commerce journey, and then identifying and saving those pipelines. Now, one of the best parts of actually, identifying this pipeline is that you also have the option to save these pipelines. So let me just go back. Now, let's say in case if I've identified a hero category section or let's say hero category pipeline, I can click on this section, or I can click on save preset. And once with the filters intact, I can save this as a hero, let's say a hero preset. The moment I click on hero preset with my category and my filters intact, this will automatically save this as a preset. And every time if I want to, let's say, come to the section, I can just click on this custom view, and below this, I would have the hero preset already ready. And I can click on it automatically. It will keep refreshing my data to show me the categories or the products that fall below this, or that basically satisfy the filter criteria that I have set. So essentially, this becomes very important for you to save these presets. So let's say create certain custom views where you can identify on top of your multiple attributes or dimensions. So let's say on your overall category or your overall catalog, and then keep viewing these presets accordingly so that you know that how your data is churning across your multiple categories and your multiple catalog section. So that's the concept of understanding that how do you deeply analyze your catalog and how do you identify those pipelines and save these pipelines. Now, the third thing that we wanted to move was basically catalog mapping. Essentially, catalog mapping is basically a feature that allows you to enrich your feed. And the more enriched your feed is with product feed attributes or product level data, the better it is to have your brand, that the better it is for your brand to have visibility on your shopping campaigns. So the better attributes you pass along your feed, the better it is for you to, let's say, map those attributes and then get better visibility. Now, in order to understand that how do we do the mapping, what you can do is you can click on the catalog section and then go to the catalog mapping. The moment you click on catalog mapping, you have the feed mapping ready where you do it for Meta and Google. For example, if you pick up Google, you have certain drop downs. So let's say in case if you want to map your data of brand to how do you want to push your data from your store to the Google Merchant Center, you can map it to the brand column. And essentially, we have multiple columns. So you have your GTIN, your MPIN, color, and now this becomes very important for international clients as well because That's again a primary set of matching that Google does on GTIN and MPIN. You can map your colors, custom label, age group, and then your mobile links in case we're launching app-based campaigns and your pattern. Now, why do I emphasize more on getting your feed enriched or feed mapping correctly done? We have a case study with Rare Rabbit, one of the biggest apparel brands, is that once you have an enriched feed, it can do wonders for you in your shopping as well as the free listing ads. So let's identify that how Rare Rabbit has used the catalog mapping effectively to scale performance. Now, let's identify on two basic use cases the problem that Rare Rabbit was facing. The first was product discoverability, where Rare Rabbit had a lot of carousel, a lot of PMAX campaigns. But even with those PMAX campaigns, it was not having a good product discoverability on those PMAX shopping paid and organic campaigns. Why? Because your feed was not enriched. And why that product attribute is important is because when you have certain attributes in your product titles, Google instantly matches the search query with the ad that the user is looking for and essentially matches it to the high intent purchase user. So better your title is or better your optimized title is, the better it is chance of conversion happening on those specific ads. And the second problem that Rare Rabbit faced was the inability to fully harness and scale up their PMAX campaigns effectively. Now, what we did at PMAX, what we did at Rare Rabbit is we asked them to send us feed level data, or let's say this is feed level data for title optimization. And once we had the attribute, that is your color, size, material, pattern, fabric, and all of the data ready, we automatically optimize their product, their ad title. And based on that, we saw incremental results. So we did this optimization for 6 categories where they were launching their PMAX campaigns. And effectively post the title optimization, we were able to see a 56% increment in the paid traffic to product pages. Why? Because Google was better able to map that search query to the ad that we wanted to show them with a 42% incremental in their overall PMAX conversions. That ultimately left with 32% increment, or let's say the upliftment in their overall revenue. So the better your title is optimized in terms of your color, fabric, attribute, patterns, the better it is for Google to automatically do a better organic search and match those search queries to your ads. And better it is for Google to automatically map your products to respective high intent purchase audiences. So that's why it becomes more important, again, at a channel level as well for Meta and Google both. The better your catalog or your feed is, the better it is for the channels to automatically pick up data from your catalog and then map these data accordingly. So that's the power of using the catalog section to map your feed and enrich your feed to have better visibility and better scalable opportunities. So I think moving ahead from that, I think it's time for the poll now. Can we launch the poll? Do let us know that which feature that you think was your most liked feature, and which feature you think can help you to scale your brands effectively.
Thanks, Pranav, for this insightful section that you held on product analytics, the new and improved page, identifying and saving hidden gems and hero products, and ultimately the Rare Rabbit case study, like we promised, on feed enrichment using the catalog mapping feature on the Adyogi platform. So I hope you guys were able to understand and absorb the information that we shared. And but this is not the end of the webinar. But once you're done with the poll and you've written your favorite feature, we have another case study on Bombay Shirt Company. And in case you stay till the end, we'll also be rolling out a QR code for you to enable a free product performance audit. That is how to identify these hidden gems and hero products without you having to go to the product analytics section in case you cannot access the Adyogi platform right now. So do stay till the end as we'll be rolling out a chance for you to avail that audit. And yes, so let's have the results of the poll on our screen, and we should be able to see what the audience says about which feature they liked or did not like or liked less as compared to the others. All right, there's a tough competition between new and improved product analytics page and the feed enrichment using catalog mapping feature. That is great. I hope the Rare Rabbit case study helped give you some credibility and was able to show you how the catalog mapping can help you, improve your overall performance, not just on Google, but your overall website performance. And these product title optimization does not only help you with ads, but also helps you with search engine optimization. So yes, let's move ahead and go to the next section. So, yes, Pranav, could you switch your slide to the next slide?
Sure.
All right. So Bombay Shirt Company's road to success through product performance audit. So let's give you an understanding of how Bombay Shirt Company was able to progress from the month of September to the month of December since they onboarded till the end of last year. So if we proceed to the next slide, we will be able to see how in the month of September they came with us with a very meta heavy ad strategy, which basically means that they were only spending on meta ads and their Google Ads strategy was not as optimized. Once they onboarded with us, we were able to help them crack the products that are profitable for them and were able to give them an optimized ad strategy to scale up efficiently. In the month of October, we were able to modify their entire campaign structure using our Adyogi's product performance management platform. And with the meta campaigns, we also set up their Google campaigns. We also helped them analyze, like I said, the products that were right for them using the product analytics page that you just saw on Pranab's screen. So once we did that, we were able to scale the ad spends on Google with a ROAS of more than 4x plus, and this also led to a 35% increase in new customers. So now that we have a new wave of, to acquire new customers while also retaining your existing customers, this brand was able to crack that and was able to exactly uh, get this metric in check by getting more and more customers and doing more and more prospecting through new channels of distribution and also promoting the right products, the hero products to the right audiences. So it's all about choosing the right products at the right time to the right people. With this, they were able to increase their new customers acquired by 35% till the month of November, and also in the month of November, their revenue growth was 25% up as compared to when they were onboarded with us in the month of September. This compared with December, this increased to 42%. So 42% increase in revenue was observed as compared to September when they onboarded with us. All of this could be achieved through product performance management. So before we give you again an explanation of PPM, let's set some context of how Bombay Shirt Company operates and what are some key features that the brand has. So it's a clothing brand known to be the first online custom shirt brand that is itself customized men's apparel, and it's operating both in online and offline stores. Before onboarding with us, it had a very physical store heavy strategy, retail strategy, and after onboarding with us, we were able to scale their website sales as well. The brand offers a wide range of 500 plus products. It has a wide catalog. However, like it said, they had low online conversions, which is the one growth barrier that they were facing and wanted to uh, combat. Next slide will be able to give you a gist of the three main growth barriers that they faced. First is the lack of product and category level insights. So I'm pretty sure the ones who are operating a D2C brand or an e-commerce brand might not be getting the granular catalog or category level or product level insights that we are able to provide on the Adyogi platform. And this was done using the product analytics section with a catalog of 500 plus products. We were able to generate these insights, and this helped them to focus on the products that were high converting or profitable for them. The second barrier that they faced was, so after doing all the hygiene checks from our end, we were able to observe that around 200 plus SKUs were not getting page views or were not getting enough traction in their entire catalog. That means that a huge chunk of their catalog was not getting discovered only by website visitors or people who were seeing the ads. So these particular products needed to be pushed, but in the right manner, and this was also done using the Adyogi platform. The third barrier that they faced was, again, it was a meta heavy ad strategy that they had, and to scale the order volume, it was very important to explore more ad platforms, but efficiently, and that's when Google Ads came into the picture. So Moving on to the next slide, you will be able to understand again what product performance management is in a very detailed fashion. So, PPM leverages product analytics to guide e commerce businesses in optimizing their ad budget allocation on Meta and Google Ads. So, by synchronizing data from various sources, let's say Google Analytics, your website backend could be your Shopify store, could be your WooCommerce store, could be your Magento store, it ensures that resources are directed towards the high performing products, and you are able to minimize the ad spend wastages that are happening on your non performing, on your poor performing products. So it's all about choosing the right products. And let's have a look at the solutions that we implemented on BSC. So the first solution, like we have, is the Adyogi's product analytics. The product analytics was able to help them identify what their top performing categories were, that is white shirts and business shirts, and we created campaigns accordingly for them. So one campaign was created for business shirts and another campaign for white shirts. So specifically budgets were allocated to these specific categories, and also a catalog linked ad was created to show business shirts only. So when you create these targeted ads or catalog linked ads, you are able to uh, analyze how much spends are going to that particular category and also see the profitability of that category. So, like it said, when they created a catalog linked ad for their high performing category, that is business shirts, they were able to get a 33% higher ROAS than their other ads. And this was done within just a month of them getting onboarded. Once we also did the hygiene check to identify their best sellers, their hidden gems, and so on and so forth, we were also able to analyze what were their next best selling products were. And you will be able to see that in the next slide also. So, overall, the product analytics section helped us to not just scale revenue but also save ad spends as well. So the challenges we identified when they onboarded with us in the month of September were bifurcated into four parts. So the one is only 56 SKUs were marked as hero products on the basis of quadrants that you see on the left hand side in the slide here. So it's basically a derivation of BCG matrix that you guys must be aware of. So basically, we identified products into four buckets: hero products, hidden gems, less discoverable, and poor performing. Only 56 SKUs out of a catalog, out of a wide catalog, is a very small percentage of hero products, and this needed to be increased by pushing spends on them. 400 plus SKUs had a huge potential. If you see the top left quadrant, there are 416 SKUs in the month of September that were hidden gems. That is, they had a high potential of generating higher revenue and generating higher ROAS if they are given enough ad spends. Third is discoverability of 200 plus products needed to be increased. So if you see, the less discoverable products are almost 300 plus, and these products needed to be given enough spends, but in an efficient manner so that you don't end up spending on products that might be poor performing or might lead to a low ROAS. But also you need to spend on the products that are giving you higher ROAS, just like we saw how Pranav was able to identify hidden gems out of the low discoverable categories. And lastly, 63% of ad spends were getting wasted on poor performing products. That is the blue quadrant that we see on the bottom right corner. So after analyzing these four challenges, the next slide will help you understand how we created customizable product sets and were able to promote high convertible products out of the less discoverable quadrant. So as a numerical figure, we were able to see a 61% higher ROAS from such ads. So these ads are basically the ads I'm referring to are customized ads or targeted ads, where I'm choosing the products that I want to promote and then promoting only those products in my ads instead of giving this benefit of doubt to Meta and Google algorithms to show the products that they think would get more engagement or they think would get more clicks or views and so on. So once you take the control in your hands, you are able to have a more targeted growth strategy, and that's what we do at Adyogi. Similarly, once we identified these challenges, we also created performance max campaigns on for these particular categories. And once we created these performance max campaigns, we were able to see a whooping increase in orders by 3x in quarter third as compared to the second quarter, and an overall ROAS of 5x was achieved from Google Ads, only Google Ads in the month of December. Additionally, we were also able to optimize the product titles, which again, like Pranav mentioned, for Rare Rabbit, it was done to increase the discoverability of the product. So, like I said, to increase the discoverability of the products, to help Google identify which search query matches with which product on your website, it is very important that you put the right keywords in your product title. So if you see on the left hand side, this is a search ad, and in this ad you should be able to see the product title contains keywords such as formal, cotton, custom. So why custom? Because Bombay Shirt Company sells customized shirts. Why cotton? Because it's the fabric. So let's say if someone is searching for cotton shirts, Bombay Shirt Company's ad must pop up at the top of the result. If someone is searching for formal shirts, then their ad must pop up at the top of the search results. So product title optimization helped them increase their impression share by 10%, and this again was a huge success for them. And overall, if you see after all of these strategies being implemented, you can visualize how the high potential products move to the top performing quadrant. So if you see on the left hand side, before PPM implementation, that is July to September, we were able to see that a huge chunk of SKUs in the form of scattered dots, if you see, lie in the top left quadrant, that is the high potential quadrant. But if you see in the after PPM analysis or the after PPM scatter plot chart, you can see that these high potential products have moved into the top performing products, and this was a huge success for them because they were able to increase the number of hero products for their for their company, and they were also able to utilize the potential that was lying unutilized in the hidden gems that they had in their catalog. As an overall view of all the results achieved, we were able to save almost 6.3% ad spends on an average. But one thing to note here is using the stop loss automation, there was a 10% savings of ad spends in just 1 month of onboarding. So they onboarded in September, and in October, we were able to save around 10% of their ad spend just by not spending on poor performing products. And that's the level of impact you can also create on your account if you choose to not spend on your poor performing products. Next impact that we were able to create was increase in the number of hero products. So like you just saw in the scatter plot chart, from before PPM to after PPM, there was a 3x increase in the number of hero products. And this also led to an overall increase in their revenue, which you can see on the left hand side bar chart, which shows an upward revenue growth across the website while maintaining efficiency. So from the month of September to December, they were able to scale efficiently while also growing their website revenue. And again, like mentioned in the first slide, there was a 42% increase in monthly revenue. The ROAS achieved from Google Ads for 5x, and there was a 35% increase in the new customers acquired. All of this only through product performance management by Adyogi. Now, just to give you an understanding of what the Adyogi platform is, we basically take data sources from ad platforms such as Google Ads, Instagram Ads, Facebook, Google Analytics, and web platforms, that is Shopify, Magento, Find, WooCommerce, etc., and source these data to give you actionable insights in the form of different features or different sections on the Adyogi platform, that is product analytics, smart product sets, product automation. By product automation, I mean the stop loss automation, which helped us save ad spends by not spending on poor performing products. And lastly, feed enrichment, which helped brands such as BSC, Bombay Shirt Company, and Rare Rabbit to scale their Google campaigns. So now that you've heard real success stories of how PPM can impact your brand, it's time to avail a free product performance audit if you want to identify which products are profitable for you. And you can get this by scanning the QR code on your screen. Once you scan this QR code, you would be shown a Google form where you will be asked to put the details of your brand, how much you are spending, what is your website URL, what is your name, email, etc. One thing to note here is, which is very important, is that you must be spending almost 10 lakh plus ad spends on your catalog linked ads. By catalog linked ads, I mean the ads that use your catalog to show products on different ad platforms, that is Meta and Google. And you should have a catalog of at least 500 product SKUs so that we are able to help you give a overall gist of how your catalog is performing, and give you visualization in the form of the matrix that is shown on the right hand side of your entire catalog on the basis of two metrics, that is average ad spends and blended ROAS. So in case you want to avail this free product performance audit for your brand, especially for people who are not associated with Adyogi, then do avail this audit right away, and you should be able to see the Google form link in the chat box as well. In case you want to get in touch with us to ask any questions or book a demo with us of the Aduki platform, then we will be sharing a link in the chat box so that you can book a call with one of our sales experts, and they will be help you to guide you further on how you can get onboarded with us and how you can avail our product features and etc. So I hope you guys liked the session. Without wasting any more time, we will be moving on to the Q&A section. And in case you have any doubts, please share it in the chat box. Please write it down in the Q&A section or the chat box, and we would be happy to address them. All right. So the first question we have is, what do the save preset button do? So Pranav, I think you would be the right person to take this up since you explained this particular feature.
Got it, got it. Thank you for diverting it for me, Muskan. So let's just go back to understanding what does the save preset do. Let's just go back to the section. Now, let's say in case if you have identified a pipeline of products, so let's say your hero products, and now you want to save that concept of hero or that pipeline of hero products so that every time when you come on the Adyogi dashboard, you do not have to apply those filters again, and then you don't have to segregate those categories again. So you create a filter section, or you create those attributes and filters, automatically segregate your data. And the moments your filters and your category and everything is applied, to click on the save preset and save that specific preset, as, let's say, as a hero preset or a potential preset or a hidden gem preset. Now, every time when you come to the dashboard, you should be able to see that preset under the custom, below the custom view. Now, what it will do is it will automatically compute data on the filters that you've set. So every time you come to the dashboard, so let's say every day when you come to the dashboard to see that what are my hero products for the day, or let's say for this specific day, it will automatically compute that data and then show you those product lists that are your hero products. Now, definitely, since the data keeps changing every day, your list of hero products will keep on changing. So that now you know that any product that you considered as a hero product for, let's say, a week back may not now have its place in the hero preset that you've saved. So automatically, it gives you the option to automatically create these multiple presets or multiple pipelines, and then keep viewing these pipelines to better promote your products in your smart app. So the more presets you create, the more and data you analyze at a product level, the more micro you go at a product level by saving those presets, the better control you have of your catalog and the better visibility of your products, that how are they moving across the e-commerce journey. And once you have all of these views combined, you should be able to pick up these SKUs and then create those smarters on top of these SKUs. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you, Pranav, for taking that question up. Again, in case anyone has any other doubt related to the product analytics section, or how to save a preset, what it exactly does, or any other particular feature or particular page that you see on the platform that you want to know about, then please drop a text in the chat box or in the Q&A section. So next question that we have, Pranav, is, it says that I am a Shopify client and I want to send color and material data. What are the ways to send it?
Good. So I think this falls within the purview of feed enrichment, if I'm not wrong, that you want to send certain product level attributes to the Adyogi dashboard. And now these attributes need to be passed to your merchant center feed and your Google and your Meta feed. So there are basically two ways of sending data, or let's say sending product level attributes. So going to the catalog mapping section under the catalog mapping. So now there are two ways within Shopify itself. If you have, let's say, so there's a product called, let's say, a shirt. Now, in case if you want to send the color, or let's say the material of that specific shirt, you can either send it into the feed column that Shopify organically creates, where you can see that the shirt is a let's say a cotton shirt of, let's say, a black color. So there are two ways. So first is when you send it via the feed from Shopify directly into those specific columns. And the second way is to send it as a meta feed, where you can define these custom attributes, or you can define custom parameters and send it as a custom attribute. Now, within the Adyogi dashboard, there are the best part about the Adyogi dashboard catalog mapping is there are using both these ways, you should be able to map your data and then send that data to Google Merchant Center. So let's say in this case, if you see the word Adyogi written, that's basically we have currently mapping to the default value which Shopify is sending under the, let's say, the pattern column, or let's say the color column. But in case, let's say if you're sending it under a custom attribute, so let's say you can say that you can send it under something called as a product.color. So once you have, let's say if you're sending it under a custom attribute, you can click on this add meta field, which is add a custom attribute that you're sending from Shopify and you want that to be mapped to the Adyogi feed. You can create this namespace and key. So you can say that namespace could be, let's say, product, and then key, let's say, could be color. So the moment you create this product.color and let's say save it, you should be able to see this drop down in the section below. So let me just save it. Now, in case if I'm sending my, let's say, color, in case if I'm sending my color in the organic column or in the color column or the color column, then I should be able to map it to RDB color. But in case if I'm sending it as an attribute under the product.color, I should be able to see the product.color. So the moment I map it to product.color, it will automatically pick up my color from my custom attribute, or let's say my custom meta field, and then map it to my color column. So using both these ways, you're able to map your attributes to your feed. And once that get passed to Meta and Google, they're able to better optimize your product title for better product display.
Right. So I hope that answers the question. So again, we had another question similar to uh, elaboration on feed enrichment using catalog mapping feature. So I hope this was taken care of. And feed enrichment again, Pranav, could if you could take 2 minutes to speak about
Got
feed
it.
enrichment using Rare Rabbit's example as well. I think that could help
Got
people
it. Got it.
understand it better.
Got it. So let's understand that what's the concept of feed enrichment and why do you need to enrich your feed in the first place? So to understand it better, whenever a user is searching for a specific product on Google, let's say if you go to a search option and you want to, let's say, type cotton shirts. So when you have a search query from the end user, Google will use that search query to map those specific keywords to your ad title, which is your product title, or your, let's say, your ad title. Now, if your product title contains something as a cotton shirt of blue color, Google will automatically start ranking those products in the higher search in terms of your shopping ads, or let's say even in your free listing ads, so that your audience knows that these companies, or let's say these brands, have these specific products available to the search query that I've entered into my search option. And the more data you add at the product level, so let's say in case if you add your brand, if you add your product type and your attributes like color, material, fabric, pattern, the age group, gender, and the variant level data, the better it becomes for Google to automatically match that search query to your specific ad title. And based on that, there's a very high chance that your ad may be served to a very high intent purchase audience. So people who have the intent to buy a specific product. So let's say somebody searches a blue cotton shirt of, let's say, check pattern shirt for males, large size. So when you have all of these attributes in your feed automatically, there are very high chance that apart from the generic ads that Google shows into shopping ads, your products with the correct keywords and attributes in the product title have a better chance of being visible to the audiences, where all of the requirements or their search terms are getting catered to within the ad title. And based on that, you have a very good chance of serving it to a very conversion based audience who have a very high chance of converting on your product. So that's the better, or also the requirement for having that feed level data. Now, apart from your product title, your product description also has more requirement. In case if you add a description level, if you can also send these data like your brand, color, fabric, and all of that data, your product description becomes very rich, where even that search term query will automatically start matching accordingly. And the next thing that I want to highlight in terms of feed enrichment was your GTIN and MPIN, where Google suggested that these are better mapping strategies. So let's say apart from your SKU IDs, If you have a GTIN and an MPIN ready, it helps you to better map your products automatically to these specific IDs because these unique identifiers. And even going as far as to say that in case if you're also enabling your product ratings and reviews in Merchant Center, Google has a best matching on top of your GTIN. That is a global identifying number. So the more data you have at a feed level, the easier it becomes for both these channels to pick up data from your catalog and then match it to the user search query, rather than listing your ads and then showing it in terms of performance. So for your PMAX campaign specifically, in terms of your organic and paid ads, shopping ads, it becomes better or it becomes more enabler for you to have a more enriched feed or a more data filled feed. That's the power of enriching feed. And as we have seen for Bombay Shirt Company and Rare Rabbit, essentially, for Rare Rabbit specifically, if you're able to see a 50% increment in your product page view or your product getting clicked with a 42% better conversion strategy, that is the power that that feed enrichment can actually give to you, where your product's visibility or your brand visibility gets manifold. So I hope that answers the question to understand that why feed enrichment is important.
Right. And not just visibility, I think even the conversions have been impacted for that particular brand.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
ultimately, the goal is to boost the website revenue. So definitely, you should be using features such as catalog mapping on the Adyogi platform to enrich your feed to the maximum possibility and achieve the results that you want to. So for those of you who are inquiring about the link to get in touch with us or book a call with us of the Adyogi platform, we've again shared the link in the chat box. So if PPM interests you, you can book a call with us, and we would be happy to guide you of exactly what is included in this particular concept of product performance management and the services and features that we offer in it. So thank you so much everyone for taking out time to attend this webinar, the Valentine's Week edition of Decoding Adyogi platform. In case you have any questions, we are still here and we would be happy to address them. Please drop them in the Q&A section or raise a hand if you want to get them addressed right away. And yeah, thank you so much for attending, and we would be here till again 3:30. So if you have any questions for another 4 minutes, we would be happy to take them up. All right, since there are no more questions, I think we'll be closing the webinar. For those of you who stayed till the end, we have rolled out the Google form again to avail the free product performance audit for your brand. The criteria is that you should have a catalog size of more than 300 plus products and catalog ad spends of more than 10 lakh rupees in a month. All right, thank you so much and have a good day.